All right, Gene Deal. Glad to
Cam
have you back.
TV, Cam TV, Cam TV for me. What's up, brother?
Hey, just out here grinding, man, doing my thing, man. I see you, man. Lots going on in you know, in the Diddy world right now, man. I think since our last interview, a lot has happened. And I just thought I would kind of pick up kind of where we left off. So, since our last interview, his house was raided, LA house and Miami house. What was your initial reactions to that, and what'd you think?
I think the New York house was also raided too, bro. But they don't talk much about that. You know what I'm saying? Since all this stuff is probably coming from New York, because most of the lawsuits were filed in New York. But you don't have many people talking about that. But it's been a long time coming. I knew after the Cassie um, court filing that a prosecutor was going to pick up on some of the information she gave, because some of the information that she gave in her lawsuit was criminal. So when they looked at that, people don't understand it could be a civil lawsuit, but a person makes statements in regards to some criminal activity, a prosecutor can look up that information and then try to prosecute the individual that they're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Now, well, that's what been the thing is like a lot of people are saying now. I believe TMZ has reported that Cassie is cooperating.
She have to, because they would subpoena her. You understand what I'm saying? Why wouldn't she cooperate? She got $30 million already.
Right. She got the 30 mil, and it looked like she's turning around and cooperating. And I mean, man, it's that's
Cam,
really bad.
Cam, she's a
But the
victim.
thing,
She's a victim. If she's a victim and they deem her to be a victim, she's going to cooperate with the authorities. What's she going to do? You know the law. The law states is that they subpoena you. You come in and you tell them what you're supposed to. If you don't tell them what uh, they ask you questions to, and you evoke your Fifth Amendment right, you have to. The judge can hold you in contempt and keep you in jail for the life of the crime. I mean, for the life of the life of the court proceedings. So why would she go through that stuff? She go in there and answer the questions they ask her.
now, do you think now that's kind of tricky though, don't you think? Because she was with Diddy for like 10 years. You don't think she was part of any of these crimes or anything?
Bro, this is not tricky because when she come in and they testify for them, they're gonna give her immunity over anything that happened. Because you got to realize they don't want her, they want him.
Mm.
So the DA going to say, yo, listen to me. Anything that you tell us, even though it's a criminal act that you were doing and stuff like that, we're going to give you immunity. You're going to be one of our witnesses. She's going to be witness for the prosecution.
Okay. Now, with all this going on with Cassie, I mean, do you think there's a lot of other women too that are cooperating also?
All the people that they find on those tapes, when they want one individual, all they're going to do is make a deal with them. When they make a deal with them, you understand, to testify what they know or what they want them to testify to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure that they get them immunity for any wrongdoings that they did and let them know what Puff did.
Man, okay. So when this happened, when the raid went down, everybody thought Diddy was running. Everybody thought he was gonna go to a country that doesn't extradite, and they were kind of comparing it to like Russell Simmons. How Russell Simmons went to a country too.
Right.
What'd you think?
Well, I think that he wasn't gonna go no. They knew where he was at. They got your phones tapped. They're gonna stop your flights or whatever. They knew exactly where he was at. I don't think that when they have a warrant, a search warrant for a residence, it's not for a body. If they had one for a body, they would have brought it in. Now, if they would have went there and they found guns, drugs, and Diddy was there, they would have brought him in. You know what I'm saying? They would have brought him in, like they brought his sons in. And then they want to know, well, why are these unlicensed guns in the house? Um, who drugs do these belong to? All those things like that. But a lot of people probably believe that, they just want to know, and the government want to know what things those people were doing on those tapes and who was doing shit on those tapes. Because I heard they found like 250 cameras or something like that.
That's what they say. They said they found a lot of cameras.
Right.
There's a lot of rumors about him recording some of these parties, and he's using a lot of this stuff for blackmail, like a lot of celebrities, even as far as politicians. I think even Little Rod said that Diddy had every room taped and bugged.
Right. Well, in his affidavit, his deposition that he gave to the courts, he said every room was bugged, and that he did have tapes and information on a lot of different celebrities and people in the music business, people that were in politicians, and like I said, in other platforms, people that was in the ministry, allegedly.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, if the feds got their hands on these tapes, you could very well see like a domino effect of shit coming down on everybody.
It depends on what's on the tapes. You know what I'm saying? If it has anything, see, what people don't understand is that having sex is not a crime, but having sex with underage is. Not saying that he did that, not saying that he's a part of that. But if you have done that, it's no statute of limitation on having sex with underage. And in 2011, it was a individual that they said there was a drug kingpin that had a proffer, that was offer a proffer agreement, and in that proffer agreement, his name was Jimmy Henchman, right? They asked him, what did he know about Sean Puffy Combs having sex with underage in 2011? So if they had any information back then, and that's about what, 13, 14 years ago, there's no statute of limitation if they find tapes or they find any information regarding that now.
Right. Just so people listening can understand, around 2011, when Jimmy Henchman was, I think he was fighting this case or something, he had a proffer agreement with, I want to say, the feds, and during this proffer agreement, the feds asked him about Diddy's sexual preferences.
He wasn't yet given the proffer agreement. It was on the table. They had 9 different sessions regarding it. And during that time, the federal government came to him and was going to wipe his crime away, basically, if he would have told them any information regarding Sean Combs having sex. This is what it said, having sex with underage.
It's crazy that even back then they was even looking into it.
Yeah. And I believe that because he lined himself up with some high power people and he started doing business with them, with DeLeon, I think that's it, DeLeon, and he started doing business with a lot of different moguls and hanging out with Robert Kraft, and all these people. They wasn't going to touch him. But as soon as he bit the hand that fed him, and he became no longer their boy, now they're going to try to make him the face of sex trafficking with probably minors.
That's crazy. So you believe that Diddy did something to some powerful people, and that's what's caused all this?
Well, we know he did something to some powerful people because he said that DeLeon, the people that he was working with to sell Circa, that liquor, that they were racist and everything. He said that. So then that made them look bad in the media. So they both filed lawsuits against each other. This family has been around 300 to 400 years, and they are the largest spirit companies in the world. So they got a lot of friends all over the world. So they helped the campaign against Diddy. You can't blame it on me. You can't blame it on Cassie. You could blame it on himself.
So, sex trafficking. From what I understand, sex trafficking is like you can literally, like talk to a chick on Instagram and she lives in Wyoming and you fly her out to your house to have sex. That can be considered sex trafficking.
No, it can't. No, it can't. Sex trafficking is when you take underage. Because if I got a girl, come on, Cam. If I talk to a girl in Miami and I want to fly her to New York, you know what I'm saying? And she come to my house and we, as consenting adults, have sex, that's not sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is when you are buying or purchasing or selling sex. You know what I'm saying? And you go from state to state doing it, or you have underage coming to state to have sex and do sex and lewd acts. That's more like sex trafficking, bro. It can't be with somebody that you meet online and you fly them to your crib. Not at all.
So I'm going to read a quick definition of it. Sex trafficking is human trafficking for the purpose of sexual exploitation. It has been called a form of modern slavery because of the way victims are forced into sexual acts non-consensually in a form of sexual slavery.
Mm-hmm. Now, what your question was and what you said to me, if you call a girl from Wyoming and you fly her in and you have sex with her, you're not doing nothing against her own will, right? But if you make somebody do something against their own will by drugging them, if you make somebody do something against their own will by or you entice them with money and things like that to do those sexual acts, that's sex trafficking. But just any woman.
That's what I'm saying with the money. If you meet a chick and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you to come hang out with me for the weekend and have sex, boom.
That could be considered sex trafficking. But if you paying for it, that's a form of prostitution. And then you went across certain state lines.
Yeah. So it's kind of It has, yeah, it could be a few different. You know what I'm saying? Not really sure exactly what the sex trafficking they're saying by with Diddy. Is it, did he force people to do it? Was he just paying people to do it?
Well, I can't say I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with that. But based on the information that we have, Lil Rod said that he was putting things into the drinks. He was making people take tequila shots that was laced with certain drugs that enticed people to want to have sex and everything. This is part of the complaint that the people around him are saying. This is a thing that Jonathan Obi was saying. This is the thing that Cassie was saying. I never said that because I wasn't around them during them times. So based on the information that we have from the 3 people that made complaints against him that we know of, they said that he had done that in the past, according to them, and according to the court documents that we know of.
The raid goes down. The media goes crazy. Diddy's looking real scared in videos. He got caught on video at an airport. He looks really scared in the video. Kids, they got the kids in handcuffs. I think that's probably normal procedure when you raid a house. And his plane goes to the Bahamas. Now, do you think that if they found a lot of stuff, how long do you think it's going to take for them to make their case?
Well, they're going to go back for everything that they know of, or people that they have arrested, or people that have charged. And they're going to compile all that stuff so they can have an ironclad case. That's why you haven't seen them come forward with anything like that, because if they go and arrest him right now and charge him with something, they have to prepare for a trial or prepare a case. They have to give up their discovery. Their discovery is what all the information that they have. They trying to do an ironclad case, so they go to his lawyers and them and they say, yo, this is what we have. What your boy want to do? This is what we got. What are you going to do? And doing that, we know the federal government got what, a 98.9 conviction rate. And this wasn't even the FBI. This wasn't the DEA. This wasn't the ATF. This was Homeland Security. Like he had really, what's the word I'm looking for? That he had really did something that threatened the safety of the United States of America. That's crazy, man. Like he had really did something so bad that threatened the safety of the United States of America when you send Homeland Security in there. So they trying to make an ironclad case. So when they do file charges against him, he either going to take a plea, because if he go to trial, they not, especially in the Southern District, if they do it in New York, the Southern District, look and see how many times they lost the case. They don't lose. And they pride themselves by the famous words of Malcolm X, any means necessary. They're going to try to win a case.
Diddy gets arrested. They bring him in there. They show him the evidence. They tell him how many years he's looking at. They say, we are going to give you a hell of a deal, but you must tell us about other celebrities. Well, did he cooperate?
You say, will he cooperate? Is the pig pork? Huh? Man, listen here.
Yes.
Shit. That motherfucker gonna be squealing on everybody. Yo, Cam, yo, he not built to do no time. He not built to be in situations like that. Once he get in a situation that he clean his system of all those toxins that he's been taking over the years, he's gonna come to reality. And that's gonna hit him worse than anything.
How fast does he cooperate? Right off the gate, as soon as he walks in, like Tekashi 6ix9ine?
I don't know nothing about Tekashi 6ix9ine, bro, but I do know this: the lawyers are going to sit with him. You know, he got high power lawyers. They're going to give him the information, show him the information, and then he's going to ask him, "Can we beat this case?" And based on the lawyers he picked, they haven't won a big powerful case like that in a long time. They probably lie to him and say no, but he gonna have to see their track record and know they can't beat them. Not those young, energetic lawyers that's trying to be judges over in the Southern District. Nah. They wouldn't have used all that manpower if they didn't have anything or they didn't feel like they could get him. But there is a God and anything is possible.
Do you think that the standard of what they're going to need versus Diddy versus like an average person is higher because he has so much money for lawyers and the defense?
Well, you have to understand this. When they want somebody, the standards is going to be astronomical. You understand? They're going to put their best foot forward in everything. Every T would be crossed, every I would have a dot on it, and they were going to go hard because they don't want to look bad. The dude had been laughing and joking in the media and coming on like he has nothing to worry about. And they look at that as a slap in the face. And plus, he's a black man. I'm not trying to make this out a race thing, but they're not going to do him like they did Vince McMahon and let his stuff go away. You understand? Vince McMahon had those charges against him and resigned from the WWF and went away. Nobody talked about that. So now, to make Puff the face of sex trafficking, the face of being what's that? Monogamous towards women and misogynist, being a misogynist towards women, making a face of being a misogynist towards women, sex trafficking, dealing drugs and all that. After all the great things he did in hip hop, it would be a crazy loss. It would be just something that was nasty, but it's something that he brought on himself.
How scared do you think all the celebrities that have been around him and have been to his parties are?
Let me just say this. If they ain't on crack cocaine or cocoa or pink cocoa or any other kind of drugs that got their mind out of it, like a couple of his close friends is, they got to be shitting bricks. Prime example, he did uh, I think that was a IG, Instagram post. And he said, I want all the people who are with me to come out. Sending a message to his celebrity friends and show people that you with me. Tell people that you with me. And you know he's going down, Cam. Don't you know he's going down? How you know he's coming down? Because there's only one individual that came out and spoke on his behalf. Right?
Yep.
And who was that?
Shit, I don't know his name. I just seen it yesterday.
Stevie J.
Oh,
Stevie.
Stevie J. Okay.
Stevie came out and spoke on his behalf. He's the only person that came out and spoke on his behalf. That shows you his ship is sinking.
So you think that a lot of people aren't speaking up because they knew, or, they believed it?
I would be remiss if I go over here and say that a lot of people knew, and all that shit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they are protecting their own brand because it's a possibility. They protecting their brand because they know it's a possibility that some weird, crazy things was going on that shouldn't have went on. So for them to protect their brand and protect themselves and their livelihood, the best thing for them to do is stay away.
How do you feel about Diddy, riding around, taking pictures, kind of smiling, acting like nothing's going on? He's in a few different videos. I know he's on his bike on one, and he's on another video, in a store. Just, it's kind of crazy.
It's crazy that you see him now more doing those things than you saw him prior to the raid and everything. Whoever he got as his publicist, his PR people that's telling him to do those things, they got to be out there crazy, man, trying to make it seem like it's normal, that you're a normal person, and he ain't never been trying to be a normal person through this whole thing. But now he's out trying to show people that he's normal and he's just regular, riding a bike, going into the stores, taking his kids places and everything. Yo, I don't blame him when it's getting close for this to be probably his last days free.
Just trying to get out there. Okay, so now that all this came out, you've been a big voice against Diddy. You've spoken up against Diddy. Have you spoken about your...
Bruh.
No?
I've been a big voice against Diddy? Nah. Come on, Cam.
Oh, okay.
What have I said against Diddy? Not much, right?
I thought it was kind of a lot, but I guess I could be mistaken.
Listen, Cam.
Oh.
I was there when Bad Boy started at Uptown Records. I was doing the parties at the doors that they were doing. I have pictures. Heavy D first birthday party. You know what I'm saying? With Uptown Records. You understand? Diddy was brought over and he became part of our crew the same game. When he was doing parties at the Red Zone in the building, I was there, brother. You understand? I never had nothing against Sean, John, Combs, Puffy, Daddy's House, Puff Daddy, or Diddy. When dude became Brother Love and he started thinking that he could talk to people moms any kind of way, when he could treat people who loved him and gave money out their pocket once he was doing bad with the city college shit? When he turned his back on our crew, what helped him, and people used to wait for him, people used to show him love. People didn't put their life on the line, whether you're a bodyguard or not. When he became that individual, all I did is told what he did. And if that's been a voice against him, say hello to the bad guy.
Okay, for sure. I hear you, bro. I hear you. So now, the feds have probably talked to Cassie and probably talked to a lot of other people. The feds come knocking on your door. What do you say?
Why would they?
Well, you've been online speaking about your experiences with them.
Right. But why would they come knocking
So
on my door? They don't have to come knocking on my door. You know what they do? They'll give me a phone call. We want to see you in our office. I'll get me a lawyer and I'll go to their office.
Okay.
Like any normal citizen would.
What do you think about the documents that dropped alleging that Young Miami and 50 Cent's baby's mom were paid a monthly fee to be Diddy's sex worker?
Well, I know they said that, and Young Miami had mentioned at one time that Diddy was cutting her pay because I think she was probably getting like $250,000 a month or something like that. But if you look at the history of Cassie was paid for 10 years up to, I think, like $2.5 million. So she was getting $250,000 a year for what? They say that she was an artist developer or something like that, but I don't know in those 10 years any artists that she developed. What happens is that the IRS is going to see what money was being paid out. That's why the IRS went to everybody who was doing business deals with them, that he was doing business deal, and asked for the paperwork, the paper trail. So they're going to see where this money was coming from, where this money was going to, and who was getting it for what reasons. And if they were getting money for allegedly being sex workers for them, that's what you call sex trafficking.
So this could be a problem. Big time. But they'd have to prove it.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up, and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness. Right?
Yep.
What he had just done that is against the law.
Nothing that we seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that, he goes and look like he's searching him. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire or something like that? Like, you're tampering with a federal witness. That's a charge right there that can land him in jail. Reckless. That was real reckless.
Man, it's gonna be kind of crazy to see everything unfold, man. Well, if worse comes to worse, and Diddy has to do some time, how do you think he's gonna handle it?
Usually individuals acclimate themselves into situations and they do the best that they can do. I just don't think him being a free spirit and off drugs, once he gets into that situation, that he'll handle it that well. I could be wrong.
A lot of people believe he's going to end himself.
Well, I heard him say that before when that City College incident happened. He was talking like that back then. Because he thought it was a possibility that he would be going to jail. He lost his job at Uptown. So he's done a lot of things, been a lot of places. I don't think he has the spirit to be behind bars.
Just recently, his son now is being sued for sexual assault, and the alleged victim claims she has audio recordings of him forcing himself on her during a yacht party.
Actually,
did you check that out?
Yeah, I was listening to, if you don't mind me saying, Tis Tales. And she said that she was going through the whole lawsuit. And in the lawsuit, it stated that he was recording a song. And the guy, Little Rob, had it in the recording that the girl was actually fighting him off her, and he was trying to make her drink some tequila, and she said, "What's in it? Is anything in it?" And he was trying to fondle on her or whatever like that during the time. And Lil Rob picked that up at the recording. So she's a part of the lawsuit.
What's your thoughts on that?
Like
Do you
father,
think,
like son. You heard me?
Bro, that's so... Oh my God, yes, I heard you, man.
That's wrong, huh?
Man, bro. Sheesh, man. I mean, gosh.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. I mean, she's alleging that she had to fight him off several times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she suspected that the tequila was spiked.
Right.
A lot of lawsuits. Do you suspect more lawsuits are coming?
Well, see, the thing about it is, what people don't understand is that there's people that had stuff on Diddy from way back that lawyers would not fight it or take it. But now Cassie opened up those doors. I heard that there's a guy that's going way back and say that he put on a Sean John shirt and it tried to molest him. So he's taking his shit to court. That's some crazy
I
shit.
haven't heard that one yet.
No, I'm just,
Sheesh.
I'm just,
Oh,
I'm just messing with you, Cam. But
oh okay, okay.
that's how crazy it is that everybody's going to be suing him for all the little things, and that's why he probably knew something like that may come. Why would you put everything that you own in your kids and your mother's name and not have nothing in your name? You might know your own dirt from way
Diddy
back.
don't have nothing in his name?
Nah, he was putting. Remember the locks? Remember the people? He was putting all people publishing and everything in Justin's name. Mace said that his mother owns everything. He was putting all the stuff in his mother's name. That you just heard in the raid that the house was in his daughter's name. She's 17 years old. The house was in her name. What do you know about you that you put everything in everybody else's name? In case you may get sued or in case something may happen? All right.
You know, one of the things that happened ever since this whole Diddy situation, there's just been this like endless amount of content of Diddy doing funny things. You know, like there's the whole where 50 Cent tells the story about how Diddy offered to take him shopping.
Right.
You know, and there's also the time where he made Fabulous real uncomfortable while Diddy was calling some other dude daddy and telling Fabulous like, yo, why don't you party with me? And, you know, trying to get Fabulous to party with him, you know. What do you think about these like little looks into the past about how Diddy was acting?
I see a lot of I would call epics, these little commercials, these little cartoon things. South Park that popped up with the devil talking about I don't want to do it if Diddy did it. Did you ever see that on South Park?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah,
No.
50 ended up posting it, but I'm a South Park fan, so I already knew about that one. You know what I'm saying? So uh, uh, that was that on South Park? Yeah, that was on South. Yeah, South Park. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm a South Park fan, so I'm looking at that. So, and I say that this guy could have went down in history as one of the greatest producers that put together some of the greatest music in the 90s and having arguably one of the top greatest rappers in hip hop in his camp. For the people to make him the laughing stock of hip hop, the laughing stock of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, is one of the greatest tragedies of our time. It's crazy what he has become to the media.
Can you separate his music from his personal life?
You know the man, through his music. So you can't separate his personal life from the music.
Mm. Why do you think he was offering to take 50 Cent shopping?
I can't really offer that, bro. I can't really answer that. I don't know why, but just on some sucker shit, probably. You know what I'm saying? Trying to play 50.
Mm.
He know 50. Come on, bro. 50 was rich at the time. 50 used to do music for him. Why he never asked him then when he was doing music for him? You understand? Just talking shit, want to have something to say. Knowing 50 hot.
Knowing 50, yeah, would probably have a crazy reaction to that. All right, now we kind of touched on Jimmy Henchman a little bit, man. You know, what do you think about, Puffy being accused of knowing Tupac was going to get shot at Quad Studio and Jimmy Henchman allegedly being involved in all that?
When I spoke about it way back when, nobody never even paid me no attention about it. The fact that Big and them didn't know Puff was in Quad Studio. You understand? The fact that Puff and Jimmy Henchman been going back way back when Puff first got out in the business, when Jimmy first got in the business. That Andre Harrell was also up there too. When I spoke about the fact that Puff was in there to spy on Big and them, and Tupac was coming up there, and he's in the office with Jimmy Henchman and Andre Harrell, nobody believed me at the time. For Puff to know that and know that Big and Tupac was friends, that was some shiesty shit. But I've seen Puff operate that like that before, against people, around people. So it didn't surprise me at all that Jimmy Henchman probably told him, yo, I'm about to teach this nigga Pac a lesson for saying crazy shit and talking shit to me. Because it wasn't supposed to be a shooting. It was only supposed to be a robbery. But you never know what happened when people carry guns.
Yeah, sheesh. Were you there the night that Biggie was killed?
Well, from my perspective, what happened is that if I look at the overall picture of it, and like I said it before, I think there was four different groups that was trying to hurt us from Bad Boy. You understand? I think the people at Death Row, based on what DJ Quick said out of his mouth, those niggas said they was gonna try to get him. I think the people in the dog pound wanted Big and Puff at one time. You understand? I think that this Muslim crew that we had a incident at Soul Train, they wanted him. And then I think some people was just hired to kill Puff. So now I think different crews was trying to kill us or wanted to have a beef with us. And the people who was trying to kill Puff that night end up killing Big.
Can you take me through the night?
We arrived to the Peterson Museum. They were playing Hypnotize 1,000 different times. Puff was running back and forth. You had Keefy D come up to the, Keefy D, one of the Compton Crips, he came up there. I introduced him to Big. The fire extinguishers going off because there was a lot of smoke and everything. We was up in the Peterson Museum and there was luxury cars in there. So the fire marshals came and shut it down. Before they shut it down, when they told us we shut down, I ran down, got the cars, put the cars right there in front of the doors so we could leave. We were about to go to Steve Stout's house because he was giving a party up in the hills. I called one of my friends, Chaz from Black Hands. Chaz told us not to come up there to the hills because he thought that if we'd have went up in the hills, a lot more people would have got killed because it looked like they were setting something up because they was trying to get us up in the hills, right? At the time, I didn't know that Big car had stickers on the wheels that said Big something. All his wheels had stickers on them that was different from ours, and they were the same vehicles. We parked on side the driveway. When we got ready to leave, this Muslim come walking down the street. I ended up showing him my weapon. He walked back up the street. After I showed him my weapon, he walked back up the street. Asked everybody, was they ready to go? They said yes. I hopped on top of the side of the car. Hopping on the side of the car, I said, Puff said, yo, Gene, get in the car. And I was like, yo, I want to ride on the side of the car, man, make sure everybody's all right. You know, because I felt that we didn't have enough security. You know, we went in there with 23 people and 11 of us left together. From 23 to 11, because I think 12 of those individuals had already decided to leave us in the party and go up on the hills to Steve South's house, right? So now, me and Puff get into an argument because he's telling me to get in the car or I'll never work for Bad Boy again. When I get in the car, he moves his seat all the way back. I'm kind of crunched sideways. So then I tell our driver, Kenny, yo, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. The reason I told Kenny to run the next 3 lights, I had just took a class prior to going out there with the DEA. That's the Drug Enforcement Administration. It was called Interrogation and Surveillance. And in that class, they told us, yo, if you want to find out if there's somebody following you, run 3 lights or take 3 rights. You understand? So it just came naturally that when I got in the car, I'm upset that the fact me and Puff just got in, he got his seat back. I told our driver, yo, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Big Number was supposed to be following us because I spoke to the security person that was behind them. I said, y'all ready? Y'all follow us. So if we run a light, they run a light. It's a flashing red light. All the traffic and everything else, all the police and everything was on the other side of the museum. We was on the side by ourselves and there was nobody out there. So as we go through the light, you understand? Tone say, yo, Big Number ain't coming. Yo, somebody pointing a gun at Big. You know, this is what Tone's saying all in one simultaneously. And then next thing you know, Kenny stopped. He stops the car. So then we hear the gunshots. Pap, 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 pap. Kenny goes forward instead of putting the car in reverse and going back towards the light or doing a U-turn and turning stuff like that. He wait till he go halfway up the block, then U-turn. I'm cussing him out. Like, yo, Kenny, what the f is you doing? He say, yo, we don't know where they shooting at. Mom, they said they shooting at Big. Do the U-turn, come back, parks right in front of the car. Puff jumps out the vehicle and go around to Big's car. I jump out and go behind Puff. You know what I'm saying? Lil C's and everybody in them had ran down the block. You see them coming back, D-Rock holding his head, talking about they shot his man. Oh, they got my man. Don't understand why the driver put the car in park and he jumped out and he ran also. You know what I'm saying? Tone calls me and say, yo, Big Gene. Tone say, yo, Big Gene, let's go. He say, Gene, come on, let's go. Me and Tone gets in the car. We try chasing in the direction where the guy went. When we turned the corner, because we see the guy drove down, then he turns the corner. And by the time we get up to the top of the hill, it looked like a slope that was going up like that. On top of the hill, by the time we get up there, we don't see nobody, see nothing. So I told Tone, said, yo, I wish I had my truck. I said, Tone, let's get back, man. Them niggas, they don't have enough security, just put it that way. We get back, I walk down to the Peterson Museum, and that's when I heard your man DJ Quick talking about, oh, I think they got one of those bad boy niggas. They said they was gonna get him. Paul runs down. As soon as he said that, Paul runs down, grab me. Yo, we taking Big to the hospital. Wasn't thinking. Ambulance is right. The ambulance is right there. So when Stevie J them making the and people are calling 911, why didn't the dispatcher say, well, we got an ambulance right there, and why they ain't come to the other side of the museum? When me and Tone was driving, they was calling the ambulance. Why didn't they call 911? Why didn't they come to the other side of the museum? I don't even know. They was less than a half a block away. The hospital was two blocks away. It took us 30 minutes to get to Cedars-Sinai where he was pronounced dead at. I was one of the individuals that pulled him out the car.
Eesh. All right. Yeah.
That's us, right?
Pretty traumatic, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Can I get your take on the G-Dep thing real quick?
G-Dep, I'll give you G-Dep. G-Dep.
Did you know G-Dep?
I knew G-Dep. I knew of G-Dep, let me put that. I've seen him in the office. I've seen him do his thing. You understand? That was Black Rob protege. G-Dep was a hell of a writer. He would have been a great artist.
He was just released from prison after doing 13 years for a 1993 murder. He walked into the police station and confessed to shooting someone, and that's when he found out that he actually killed him.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. He just got released.
He had changed his life. He had gave his life to God. And that was a part of his repentance and cleansing himself by letting the police know that he had committed that crime. But he had did everything that he was supposed to do, and converting himself into a model citizen, and that he's out here now. And I wish the best for him because he did make some great songs.
Yes, he did. G-Dep was definitely on fire, man. That was
Actually, those kids in the video, the kids in his video, that one with him, Black Rob and Puffin, they won the dance contest at my block party, at our block party, Slick and the Family block party. The little boy, Justin, and the girl named Karima. They won my block party, our block party, Slick and the Family, and that's how they got in that video at G-Dep video. The other two kids came from the Rucker. They used to dance at halftime at the Rucker.
Well, that's what's up. Oh, yeah,
all right,
dope, man. All right, Gene, I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you
dope
too,
content.
Cam. I'm here. All right?
All right, bro, for sure.
Salute, bro.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.